Okay, so look at the sample number 13. They just ask us to write a conclusion. So they tell us that it's random. We know that n is whatever it is, 23, 24, 27 is less than 10%. And do you see here how it says it's normally distributed? If you see that, then you can just say state it. So I would say for large enough, or do you want to use what the book says, nearly normal? Just say normally distributed, and then say state it, just like you do for random, okay? So you don't have to do that CLT thing or anything like that. All right, so, but all they want is a conclusion. So what we are interested in is the p-value. And so, and do you see that my alpha is equal to 0.05? So I'm going to, so we will reject my HO since my p-value of 0.0041 is less than alpha, which is 0.05. Okay, so if we're going to reject, that means we're going with HA. Well, what is HA? Do you see how it's less than? It is less than. So whatever process 1 is less than process 2. So they made an adjustment in their manufacturing process, correct? Coming off the side, measure each way the plant has been operated. The data before adjustments were made in a table. The complete conclusion. Okay, so that the gas mileage. So the manufacturing process. There is evidence to suggest that the, what are you doing? The adjustment in the manufacturing process. And the manufacturing process. Has improved. Or it has increased. Oh, yeah, improved is good. The miles per gallon. Okay, the miles per gallon. So you need to write the decision and the conclusion. All right, so a question like this will be on the test. So you're going to have to know how to identify each of these problems here. Okay? So what you have to ask yourself, is my data categorical or quantitative? Okay, if it's categorical, we're dealing with proportions. And if it's quantitative, we're dealing with means. Okay? So let's go to number A. It says a union would like to represent the employees at a local market. A sample is 174 out of 120 said favor. That means yes. Do you see that's a proportion? How many proportions do we have? 1. So this is an example of a proportion. It is a Z because all proportions are Z, and there's no degrees of freedom. There's never any degrees of freedom with a Z. Let's go to B. An oral surgeon is interested in estimating how long it takes to extract all 4 teeth. There are 24 random surgeries. Okay, they want to know how long it takes. Do you see that how long is minutes, or will it be in hours? And this is quantitative. How many? Just 1. So that's going to be 3. Quantitative is a T. And I do have degrees of freedom for T is n minus 1, so it's going to be 23. So let's go to number 2. We are receiving large shipments of thermal shields from 2 suppliers. A sample from each supplier tested for a rate of defects. Rate of defects. Hopefully you're thinking of a proportion for that. Do you see that there's 2 of them? So there's 2 proportions. Proportions are all Z's, and there's no degrees of freedom. Okay, let's go to D. Here what we are doing is that we are adding 15 additional rooms that revealed an average completion time of 0.32 days faster than contracted. Days is quantitative, so that means this is T. So my question is, and we have 2 T's, right? And so is this going to be a difference of means, or is this going to be a matched pair? And the deal is that it's a difference of means, it is a T, and you need your calculator to come up with the degrees of freedom. Because remember, for 2 T's, it's the calculator. Okay, E. E talks about a farmer fertilizing. And okay, I don't have all the problem here, so I apologize for that. So I'm looking on my sheet of paper, and it says prior to adding the fertilizer, 10 different fields prior to adding and after adding, okay? Okay, so because it's before and after is a matched pair, okay, so it's going to be a T, and it's going to be n minus 1, and so this 10 minus 1, my degrees of freedom is going to be 9. Okay, I'm going to do F up here, and I'm reading it from another sheet of paper, so just follow along. And we're determining whether the average jail time between bank robbers and car thieves are sentenced to randomly selected 10 cases of each type that results in jail sentences during the previous year. Okay, so this is a difference of mean, and so I want you to see that they didn't say, okay, so this is the jail in Tarrant County, bank robber, car robber. The jail in Dallas County, bank robber. You know what I mean? So there's not per jail. They just picked 10 of each. So this is a difference of means, which is 4. Okay, so which is 4. It's definitely a T. And the degrees of freedom, remember, for a difference of means, they get a calculator. All right? So if you need any help with that, you need to come in for tutoring. I know people are going to need help with it.